Hey, this simple tweak will change the dynamic of your relationship forever. Hi, I'm Alan Alexander. My wife and I have done premarital counseling and marital counseling for over 22 years. We have discovered this simple hack that has changed and revolutionized our lives, and we have seen others implement it, and it works. By the end of this video, you will have actionable steps that can help you live this out. Men and women differ in every cell of their bodies. This difference in chromosome combination is the basic cause of development between maleness and femaleness. Normally in the United States, she outlives the man by 3 to 4 years. Women's blood contains somewhat 20% fewer red cells than that of a man in general, and since this provides oxygen to the body, she tires more easily than that of a man. Why am I reading out all of these seemingly unnecessary facts? Well, this is what changed our lives. This is the hack that I'm talking about. When you begin to analyze the data here, women are actually having a very different experience throughout the day than that of men. If we have the same work day, doing the same job, by the time we're done, our experiences are very different. Now here's the thing. I always would come home as a young man having an expectation in my head based on how I feel. I mean, don't we all do that? We set expectations based on how we feel and how we are. You know, if you're happy, you kind of expect everybody to be happy. You know, if you have energy, you expect everybody to have energy, especially if we're doing the same things. Here's where arguments start. Here's where problems start happening. We start setting expectations based on our experiences, and we continually have disappointment. Disappointment is the foundation for arguments. Disappointment is really the foundation for depression and other things. And so here is how you hack your life. You start understanding the person that you're dealing with. The Bible says to the husbands, and husbands, I need you to really get this. Husbands, dwell with your wives according to knowledge. You have to know something about her before you start dwelling with her really in good harmony. And so here's what I understood. And I'll give you some steps just in a moment. But here's what you have to understand. She is not having the same experience. When you come home from work, even if you have the same work hours, you work 8 hours a day each, when you get home, because you understand she has fewer red cells in her body, she is more tired than you are. And so what you need to do as a man is handle the housework, handle the children if you have any, handle whatever needs to be handled immediately. Give her a nap time, give her a downtime, a rest time. Here's what you gotta do. Make sure you gather the kids, say, bye mom, go to the park. That's your time with your kids. As a man, you need to be there with them. You come home, and here it is. Your wife has had her cat nap and is ready as you are for the rest of the evening. Women, I know we've had all of these gender roles, and I guess I'm speaking mostly to the men today for a second here. We have all these gender roles. You know, we expect the wife to come home and probably cook and clean and all of these ideas that we have. But again, if she's working 8 hours as you're working 8 hours, you may have to consider sharing up these roles in a different type of way, or maybe setting them at a different type of time or a different day. So let's say you come home from work, right? And again, because you're coming home at different energy levels in general, okay? This is not a one size fits all, but this is in general, right? If she has less oxygen, there's a great chance that she's coming home with less energy than you. Let's say you have a big problem to tackle. Well, right after work is not the time to do it. You know, you're coming, she's coming in like this, and you're ready to handle the problem. Maybe that's not the time as a couple you need to set for managing those type of heavy conversations. Keep it light. Right after work, keep it light. Deal with those things probably at another time of the day. Maybe it's a phone call at lunch or something like that you handle those type of issues, or you do a sit down on the weekend if you work weekdays. So those are two things. The last thing I want to mention, this one's it's not on a good note, but I really want people to understand it, because as a person that have counseled couples over a period of time, we understand that some of these differences, like for example, a man generally having 50% more brute strength than that of a woman, and again, this is in general, means that in an argument, we always go to our strong points. Most women, because of the differences in their brain, they have the ability of recalling information a lot quicker than that of a man. And so generally a man's greatest argument happens like a day later. You know, he finally has the answer to the problem. That's just in general, right? 2 hours later, he's just like, oh, this is what I should have said. And so she locks into her strength, the ability to recall information, to connect the dots, to, all of these things. And she'll talk circles generally around him. And I've experienced this with a few men, and I've felt the frustration even in my own life. And so what does a man have that's superior to that of a woman? Well, he's 50% stronger than her. Unfortunately, that's where abuse happens. Men at times don't know how to respond verbally, so they'll respond in strength. And that is where you need not ever go. You guys are not opponents. You're not coming at each other. She's not trying to out-talk him. He's not trying to out-restrain her, or it should never ever come to that. You're actually a couple that are supposed to be bonding and getting closer. Not war, fighting against each other as two different nations. You're one household. And so just understanding the physiological, emotional, mental differences between maleness and femaleness can really help change your actionable steps in your home and cause you to dwell with each other according to knowledge. Understand him, understand her, and then speak. God bless you.